Hey everybody, what is going on? It's Brian with you from the Game Common, and we are playing some more Planet Coaster. So this episode, I work a little bit more on that exit into the roller coaster, putting a couple more buildings around the roller coaster, just to kind of fill in the whole area. So I decided to, instead of starting from scratch, I decided to take that building and copy it, and we're playing with it over on the grass, just because it's so much easier to work on the grass than to try working, over on top of our dock, because anytime we use the selection tool, we select the dock, and if we try duplicating, then it duplicates the dock, and it just gets a little ridiculous. So we basically copied the building, moved it over, and are working over here. As you can see, I'm trying to make a really long, thin building, because that's where I kind of was going to fit the area. So I decided instead of making it like double wide, we're just going to make it once again really, really small. And this building, like our other building, is going to be another fake building per se. It's going to be another building that doesn't actually do anything. It's more just there for looks. I really like these pillars. I think they fit our style really well. The one issue I was having, as you can see, is it's like it just wasn't right. Like I have an extra one, but then if I went too far that way, it just wouldn't fit, and you can't build just one. So I was like, all right. So I ended up deleting that and then just kind of putting another one, and we kind of have that double one there on the second to the left, but whatever, it kind of works. And then we're kind of trying to do the pillar thing and kind of using those to hold the structure up, but once again it was just like, oh god, we had to be so like picky just to get it just perfect. And then we had to use the duplicate and move over and just kind of make it look just right, and I think it came out okay. I'm trying to think what else we did to this building, because we did a lot more to this building, because this building right now doesn't look all that great, I'm gonna be honest, but I think it does come out pretty good when all is said and done. I guess this would be like another control room or something like that. It's not particularly tall, but I like these big roofs. Do I leave the ivy up there? I think my wife was in the room at this point, and I was like, yeah, what do you think of that? And she's like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, let's just delete it all. So after spending some time making sure it was all right, I'm like, nah, let's do something else. I'm trying to think what we ended up putting up there. Yeah, we put more lights up there, didn't we? Yeah, and I like those lights. This all has a very modernistic look, which once again, Santa Monica Pier is a little more older, but I'm kind of assuming this is like Santa Monica in like 10, 15 years, because we're adding a bunch of our own rides, and we're going to have some very modern looking stuff when all is said and done. Oh yeah, and here's those pieces I've been talking about that, man, I'm using these all over the place. I absolutely love how these look. Specifically with this particular style, I guess. They look really, really well, and I think they're like roller coaster pieces or something like that, but they look beautiful. It just kind of helps frame the building really, really well. And I guess that was all we did to the building, and then we plopped it over here. I tried putting it here. Oh, it does fit here. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, so we end up having two more buildings then before all is said and done. I have the door facing the pathway because that seemed to make the most sense than having the door face the roller coaster. And so once again, we ended up duplicating our building, but instead of taking the small section, this time we ended up taking the big section. And I decided to make a pretty big, large building here. Once again, they all kind of have that same architectural structure, but they all look pretty unique and different, and I like it. This, to me, for whatever reason, feels like a greenhouse. I guess it would need an open roof for it, or a glass roof at least. And I don't know, if we ever find ourselves wanting to build a greenhouse, I guess this would not be a hard thing to change. All we need to do is just like delete that roof. And I think that one section we'll just like replace it with like the glass overhang sections, and then maybe change the roof itself to just like clear glass, because you could use like the glass windows, I think, for the actual roof, and that would be pretty cool. Here I'm looking for just something else, because once again I just wanted to cover up that, and we end up doing these wood pieces, which I mentioned a couple episodes ago again, but I just don't like how they look. Like, they just don't look good because they're not straight, and that's why I don't really want to do flooring, because they look terrible. And that's about the only wood piece I can find. There's some bigger ones, but they're not completely straight, which makes sense because they're older wood and it's kind of warped and stuff like that, but it's just kind of like, ugh. So we did something a little unique here. We actually did like these framing, and then we're trying to find some plants to put on it, and I finally found like some planter plants to actually put on it. But I think that looks really, really cool. Although you can see the wood, and that's kind of, I don't know, the wood is like brown. It's a little bit modernistic. It still, I think, works. And once again, we're kind of having the doors well, once again, I'm trying to have the interesting stuff face the pathway. And then here we go, trying to build our last building. Once again, we're using the same blue pieces we've been using, but I do change the color here pretty quickly. And this is going to end up being our bathroom. I'm really happy with how this one came out. I ended up making this pretty late last night. And I was like, babe, come here, because she was like laying in bed, getting ready to go to bed. And I just really like how this building looks. I'm really, really happy with how this park's coming out. The problem is we probably still need to build another, what, like 20 buildings? And I just don't know if we're going to have time to actually finish that off before the party in the park ends. I would like to spend some more time building roller coasters too, so I don't know. Maybe I may end up just doing another park just where I can just plop down some pre-built stuff just so we can actually build a park. I don't know. Because I actually do want to build a park. Here we ended up putting 2 bathrooms in there. It just, I don't know, we had a double slot and it seemed to make the most sense. Even though I don't think that they actually will use it. Like, I think one's men's, one's woman's. So it doesn't really make any sense, you know, from a gameplay standpoint to do it, but from an actual look standpoint it does. And once again, we kind of put the roof here and we set it up just a little bit just to have that little breathable area, which I really like. And once again, we have this little curved structure that's right above the door, and I just couldn't get it to look right, and you'll see here in a second. I end up just deleting it and end up using just the full piece. And we got that nice little black roof with the yellow, and it just, man, it looks really, really good. And we put the little section here. What's funny is my game actually crashes, and you might actually see that. I don't remember if it's actually in the episode, but I decided to start riding the roller coaster because I wanted to see what it looks like, and then my game crashes, and I end up, it pretty much like resaved it like right at this point is where the autosave was. So I ended up having to go back and watch my video. Actually, I didn't really watch my video. I just kind of looked at it, and I ended up having to duplicate it all. So the final product is just a little bit different, but it's still pretty cool. I love those bathroom signs. Those look just excellent. My tree, I couldn't quite get the tree to look exactly the same way again, but it's fine. Once again, we're using the rock tree thing because I just think that looks so freaking stellar. Like, I just love how that looks. I don't know, it looks like dirt or something. And then once again, we throw some of these plants around just to kind of add a little bit of flavor. And I'm trying not to cover up the rock with the tree so you can actually see the tree. Actually see the rock rather, so it actually looks like a foundation for it. And here we end up lowering the tree a little bit just to kind of make it look like a little short guy. And this tree is actually cutting through the building. I don't know if I fix it. The one I actually put down when I redid it is definitely not blocking the building. So those trees, next time you see them, will be a little bit different, but for the most part, they're still pretty much the same. And then here, once again, I'm using those same pieces just to kind of like frame it out, just because it like, oh no, we actually make an overhang out of this. Yeah. So I end up coming out and actually making a little bit of an overhang. Instead of just having one single piece, I end up duplicating it a couple times. And now I'm trying to actually select them all, and we're having so much issue, but I finally did it. And then once again, we're just building a blueprint out of these that we're just going to duplicate and drag over. And I think it just, once again, adds just a little bit of flavor. I'm really happy that my blueprint actually autosaved, which is hilarious because my autosave was well before this. It saved my life. It saved me a lot of time having to actually rebuild that. Once again, okay, I love this Planet Coaster sign. It looks freaking awesome. At some point, we're going to use it for a fence. Probably not on this park, though, because I don't know if I actually show it, but if I actually go down the dock, it looks kind of ridiculous because you can see all the Planet Coaster signs. So probably if we ever actually make a coaster that's actually on the ground, we will use that for like a fencing system because it looks really cool. Trying to find something to put on top of this building because it looks a little plain, and I didn't really want to put more foliage up there just because it didn't really make sense. So we end up finding these lights, but then I can't figure out what direction they face. It was really weird because you can see that big light. I don't know what that is, but it disappears whenever you unselect it. And so I think we finally got these in the right direction. I don't know if I ever actually looked, but anyways, that's all we got for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, drop a like. Go ahead and let me know what you guys think, any suggestions you guys may have, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can see us crashing right there. So anyways, that's all we got. So hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next episode. Bye.